Hello and welcome back to the M2 Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Nancy. My co-host right here is KyleHeath. This is the show where we cover this week's gaming industry related news. Since it's the holidays in the US, we got Black Friday deals going on when this episode releases. So yes, we will be covering Black Friday deals at the end of the episode. But before we get into that, we're going to talk a little bit about Balatro, a small indie dev, like a small game maker named, I believe it's Goose. Shoot. I
No,
just
that's
had the name.
another article. Like, no.
Oh, dude, falling apart. But basically, it's like we're talking about Balatro, and then we're talking about Goose Byte, who survived the the closing down of studios. We're gonna dive into that a little bit, and also an update on infamous Microsoft Game Bar. I'm very interested to get into that one because I use Game Bar frequently, and I know it's like a detriment to my PC performance. So I want to figure out what they're doing new. But before we get into that, Kyle, how you been, dude? What have you been up to? How's it going?
I've been chilling, Mike. You already know, dude. It was a good week. It was a good week. Played so games I played, a little more Baldur's Gate, dove in a little bit more. Started kind of
Very
a new
nice.
campaign with some other people, so I kind of got 2 going right now. But yeah, dude. We
You're
installed
fully loaded.
Yeah, we installed a lot of mods for this one. We
yeah.
clocked in at 74, I think, was the total. So,
Jeez,
a lot of
dude.
mods on this. So it's a bit
Are you still
different.
playing the OG game? That's so many.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. But I'm actually surprised with that many mods. Like, there's obviously a lot of minor changes. I was kind of surprised there wasn't anything like drastically different. I mean, obviously there's there's like improvements to the UI, of course, which are always welcome, and kind of little things like that. But from a gameplay perspective, not a whole lot's different. I mean, there are some extra encounters we've already noticed kind of in the start of it that you don't normally get some of the mods that we have. So, so it's interesting to kind of see some variety there. But it's like one of those things with mods, I'm noticing like it adds so much replayability to this game. And it's a reason I think so many people run them. It's because it's like, it can really change the experience and kind of give something else to do with each playthrough. So I don't know, man. It's one of those games, dude. I've enjoyed it. It's itching that D&D for me without actually like doing a D&D campaign. So
doing a full because D&D takes a lot of time out of your schedule. If you do it from there,
it's a lot of planning too, especially if you get a bunch of people and all that. And so yeah, it's a lot of planning. This is like just once maybe twice a week if we're all able to meet, we play. But outside of that, it's just kind of chilling. Yeah, dude. Played some Baldur's Gate. Yep, played some Baldur's Gate. Dove into that. I'm trying to think if I played anything else this week. I don't think so, honestly. I mean, it's really just that. And I know this week, I'm actually planning to play a little Smite 2 later this week.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe a little bit, maybe even tonight. We'll see how it goes. So
I don't think you haven't told me about playing Smite, and it has to be like almost a year.
Oh yeah,
now.
at least a
it
year.
Feels like
pretty sure it's been that long. I'm pretty sure it's been that long since I played. It's
no, I believe it. Yeah.
But yeah,
a while for you.
Check out. I mean, Smite 2's in alpha. It's kind of out to the general public essentially. So a lot of people have keys at this point. So I'm gonna be playing some of that, get my feedback, and kind of see how it's different from the first. I've seen some gameplay, never actually played it. So I'm excited to dive in and kind of see the differences and how different of a game it actually is. So excited for that. Outside of that, I don't know, dude. I got that some Baldur's Gate, and then it's Thanksgiving week, so I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Hanging out with family tomorrow, and kind of recording this on Wednesday. Sorry, yeah, dude. But be hanging out, be checking out Black Friday deals throughout the day. Tomorrow, I'm sure on Friday as well.
Yeah, see what's going on. See what's on sale. I'm hoping
for sure,
I can find a computer chair that's like on sale. I don't know if you've caught on, but I'm not using a computer chair. So like we're small, like riding this like small little like side table chair.
Yeah.
it's like, dude, I need some cushion, man.
Yeah. Dude, I invested in a nice Herman Miller a few years ago. Yeah. It's kind of an older one.
I recognize it, yeah.
Still, I mean, and dude, this thing's been wonderful for me. So, yeah, had it for I think a little over 4 years now. So, it's good stuff, dude.
We're gonna get into those for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer this over a gaming chair personally because I had like one of those racers. In fact, it's right there. One of these racers. And,
yeah, it's been a while since I've actually seen you use that one.
Yeah, dude. this thing compared to this thing is like night and day in terms of like cushion and actually
Yeah.
like supporting my back and not feeling like I'm sitting on like a rock. So yeah, so it's very
Yeah,
different. But
there's something to go with like Herman Miller. They know how to make good chairs
yeah,
for sure.
it's the mesh, like the mesh that they use. It's like it's not actual cushion;
It's
it's a
perfect.
mesh, so it just molds to
Yeah,
you. Yeah, and it's really nice. I feel
yeah, it's
like
way better.
I noticed like immediately whenever I first got this chair, like I would sit on it for a while and then I'd stand up and I literally felt lighter. Like I stood up and I was like, whoa, that was like, it was a different feeling because it's just like, it's not as much pressure on any of you really. It's like all absorbed.
Yeah,
So it's like you go from sitting to standing up and it feels like seamless. I don't know. It's weird, man, but Herman Miller's got good chairs, dude. Yeah, they know what's up. So I'm just a proponent now of like, I recommend people if they're gonna invest in a chair, you might as well get like a good office chair instead of like a racer. But that's
yeah,
my view on it. So
you definitely need to make sure you have the right equipment for whatever you're using. Like
um,
chairs aren't worth being cheap on, you know?
yeah, really not. Especially like me, I work remote, so I'm in this thing all the time. I need something that's comfortable. So it's an investment for sure that I think a lot of people should take advantage of. Just not just it's like a bed, right? Like you splurge a little bit, man. You're sleeping,
Oh yeah.
you sleep 30 of your life. Might as well get something good. Then you're sitting, especially like me, if you have a job where you're remote, sitting on a computer all day, you need to invest in something
Exactly.
good. So, um, but yeah, Mike, what did you do, dude? How was the week? How's the games, dude? I
Dude,
know you
I'm sure
grinding
you
Call of
saw
Duty, bro.
I've been grinding Call of Duty. I
Let's
think
go.
I have like probably 2 days worth already. I'm like just all I've been doing is playing Call of Duty. Um, ranking up the guns, trying to get into CDL, understanding how the game's played properly. Playing on I used to play on mouse and keyboard all the time, but right now I'm playing on controller and it's just a different mix up. Like just I was getting destroyed early on because I was playing with people that had been grinding since launch and they've been grinding pretty much all Call of Duty games this entire time. So their
Yeah.
elo or whatever skill based matchmaking was super high. I jump in there and it's just a bunch of tryhards. So I was
Yep.
getting destroyed. But it was like I'd rather that, I'd rather be playing against really good people right off the rip than develop bad habits by playing with people that aren't so good. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was getting bullied, and then I went like they weren't online earlier today. I got onto like a couple of lobbies and it was like just me solo queuing. And I'm like, holy crap, I am so much better than like half the people on the other team and on my team. They seem clueless. So then it was like, okay, I'm starting to understand the pace of the game, understanding where spawns are and rotations. So just becoming more and more familiar of that. And like the thing that's been the most challenging for me is understanding angles and where to keep my cursor and trying not to also third trying not to get upset when the hit registration doesn't count in my favor because it's a game of milliseconds and my internet is trash. So it's like trying not to tilt, but also trying to learn things. It's been fun, man. Like I think this might be the best Call of Duty in a long time. So it's got me hooked, and I'm really enjoying that. Outside of that, honestly, I haven't been doing much. Like I played a little bit of Halo 2, Halo 3, stuff like that. But I gotta like I'm putting that in the back burner for a while. I'm pretty much only gonna be playing Call of Duty for a while now. In terms of like first person shooters. But yeah, I need to get essentially like I think I got like 3 or 4 episodes into the campaign too. It was fun. It was like a good vibe, but I don't know much about the Black Ops story. I even watched it. I did I don't know if you do this, but I think a lot of people do this. When you jump into a series of a game, like chronologically, you do the recap videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I watched like a speed run 20-minute version of everything that happens in Black Ops, and I'm like, I kind of remember this, I kind of don't, but whatever. Or you know what I mean? Hopefully this works. It's been cool. It's been a good time. So I like Call of Duty stories because they're like short and sweet and kind of to the point.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's
Yeah,
all I've
dude.
been doing. I haven't been playing anything like super fancy. So
Dang, dude. Hey, I'm just glad to see the boy gaming again, dude. I know for a long time you're like trying to get into stuff, grinding Halo for 30. Now kind of
yeah,
life stuff's cooled down, Halo stuff's cooled down. So now it's
that's a
like we can
fact.
really now you can really dive into what you want. So
Seriously, that's all I want to do. Like just get I want to get really good at COD now. That's
okay.
like the
Okay.
next thing I want to do. I'm like I'm a handful of wins away from getting to ranked. A couple of my buddies were watching me and they were saying like it was a good compliment. They were just like, I'm surprised with how quick you're catching on. And I'm
Nice.
just like, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I used to play
Okay.
like mouse and key like for the longest time, but now I'm on control and they're just like, you did? And I was just, like, yeah, mouse and keyboard is really easy on COD. Whether or not you think it is up to you to decide. But I can shred on mouse and keyboard in Call of Duty. But now I'm like, okay, we're doing the controller. We got the PS5 Elite controller that I've been popping off about for the longest
Nice.
time.
Nice.
Not Elite, PS5
The
Edge.
dual
So
sense edge. Yeah.
yeah, it's been cool, man. It's been really cool. Pretty good time. But yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Shall we get into
Yes, sir.
it?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. This is a game that you're going to be covering. Well, this first article is all on you, but it's a game that I've been kind of interested in covering for a while now. And if you haven't heard about it, you're about to, or you've been underneath a rock, and it's Balatro, who is up
Balatro.
for Game of the Year, right?
I believe so. I think it was the kind of the odd man, the game of the year nom.
Yeah,
So
because it's an indie small game. So
yeah,
yeah, it's
let's get
definitely worth
into
talking
it, dude.
about.
Let's get into it. It's come from Eurogamer. Ed Nightingale, right? Eurogamer. He said Balatro has made almost 4.4 million from its mobile release alone, and without microtransactions. Balatro, the indie roguelike inspired by poker, has generated almost 4.4 million on mobile alone since its release in September. That's according to the data from App Magic, thanks PocketGamer.biz, which reveals the mobile game made $1 million in its first week across the App Store and Google Play. Balatro was first released in February on PC and console, but its popularity has surged following its release on mobile platforms. What's particularly interesting is its release as a premium game for an upfront of £10, or is 10 pounds, you know, that translates
Yeah,
USD.
right.
Unlike so many
It's
free to
probably
play.
like 13 or something.
Yeah, probably. This is unlike so many free to play with microtransaction games on mobile. Balatro is also part of Apple Arcade, meaning even more players have played the game through Apple subscription, though it's unclear how much money its inclusion here has generated. On launch day, Balatro made $162,000 and then peaked to $200,000 a week after launch on the 29th of September, resulting in that $1 million first week. Since
That's
then, sales,
insanity.
it's kind of crazy for a mobile game, like you're saying. Any mobile game, especially one without microtransactions. Since then, sales have declined, but its inclusion as a Game of the Year nominee, among others, at this year's Game Awards, has caused a resurgence in sales in the last couple of weeks. This resulted in the game's second highest earning week to date, generating $727,000. Developer Local Thunk confirmed on Reddit ahead of Balatro's mobile release it would not have microtransactions or predatory monetization. Developer also spoke out back in March about the game's rating drama after it was pulled from sale in some countries due to a mistaken belief that the game contains prominent gambling imagery and materials that instructs about gambling. Said Local Thunk, I still believe that the rating is unwarranted, but there is also some gray area. For interpretation from Peggy. I always think of the ads.
Yeah,
Peggy
I think it's the
16.
same thing.
From
Peggy
Peggy
13.
and from Peggy, and at this point, it is what it is. Dang, dude, crazy from a game that doesn't have microtransactions launching on mobile. It just speaks to the popularity that Balatro has garnered since its launch console and PC. And so to transfer that into mobile, and the fact that it's a game that can, run well on mobile and stuff is also another thing. I mean, it's hard to, if you release something on PC and console, like generally a mobile version is much different, very dialed down and dialed back. But it seems like this is just hitting the nail on the head, Mike.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. To see more and more like card games come out. I think the last one that was really well known was the one from The Witcher, right? That like a game within a game. I think it was a
Yeah.
card game.
Oh, like Gwent
What's
that we're talking about.
Gwent? Yeah,
Yeah.
I almost said Grunt, but I was like, that's not it. Yeah, but Gwent was probably the last one that I can remember of that was kind of popped off because it was like a side game that wasn't really a big deal. And I'm not saying this is a side game for the person that developed it, but they are an indie dev. You wouldn't expect a whole lot of success. You would
Mhm.
expect it to be game of the year, right? but here they are. So I think that's pretty cool to
Yeah,
see that like you can create something like a new card game, something as old as all games,
yeah,
and it becomes successful.
yeah. Yeah, well, I think to the point about Gwent, from my understanding, Gwent was a side kind of card game within the Witcher game itself, and it was so popular and
Oh
so
yeah,
many people enjoyed it that
yeah, yeah,
CDPR was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, let's make it an actual
So
game."
they right, right, right. And now you can like play it in card shops. You can
Yeah.
play it in
Oh
like
yeah.
real life. So that's what I'm trying to say is like games that go from like a small conception from one or two people to then becoming massive. And it just has to do with that like theme of as long as you create something good, people will play it, regardless of what it looks like, whatever story you have to tell. It's like if you make a good game, they will come. If you built it, they will come. Kind of
That's very
attitude.
true. It's very true. Yeah. Yeah. It's certainly a testament to that. Yeah, I think it's like building a game like this. It's this popular and this kind of this simplistic. If it does well, it's like it's crazy or something like this. Um,
Mhm.
'Cause I know there's like a lot of certainly bigger games and stuff like that. It's harder to sometimes like you spend all that money and all those resources and then it just doesn't do well. We saw that with Conquered. We've seen that with so many different
Yeah.
games recently. So yeah, seeing something like this that small indie game, indie dev comes out, makes a hit. Now all of a sudden you're getting Game Awards recognitions and you're getting so many nominations across many different categories, including the big game of the year.
That's a fact.
Totally doing something
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah, it's no
yeah,
joke.
yeah. And
By
I
the
think
way,
it's just no surprise there, right? That's doing this
a,
well.
a top commenter has the most likes. Well, not the most likes, just a top commenter. Maybe it's done by recency, but this person said it is such an incredible game, so much complexity hidden away, and tons of Easter eggs and jokes. And I was like, oh, that could be kind of cool. And then they also added in a little bit of a. I also hate it as it's basically digital crack. So apparently, it's a very very addicting game as well. Pretty cool.
Yeah. And I yeah, the gambling thing's interesting, but I guess there's aspects of it, huh? Um,
Yeah, yeah, that could be an issue, but
it
I'm
could
sure it'll
be.
get worked out eventually.
But yeah,
You
I think
got
it's
loot
cool.
boxes and everything now, it seems.
Yeah, I think it's cool it's on Apple Arcade too. I haven't heard of like I haven't I know Apple Arcade exists, but I haven't really looked into the library they have. But I remember the first time
Yeah.
when it came out, it wasn't really mini games. So I'm curious what it's grown to now. May have to look into that later at some point.
Yeah, yeah, true. We'll have to
Pretty
get into it and see.
pretty pretty cool stuff, Mike. Indie devs out here making that milli off these mobile games, dude. Um,
Big news. It's pretty cool though.
also,
Indie devs becoming successful. Now there's another studio, yeah, also another studio that survived the is it the one that I was talking about? Yeah. So this is an article from Bloomberg at Jason Schreier, who is the man. The title of the article is How a Small Game Maker Avoided Being Shut Down by Embracer. And if you don't remember, I'm sure this article is going to go into it before we start reading. Is Embracer was one of the ones that basically freaked out this year of layoffs and financial issues. So we're going to get into one of the studios that apparently survived and how they were able to. Pretty cool story. So let's get it started. Um, should I read right here where it says, Hi, everyone? Let's get into it. This is written by Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg. So, hi, everyone. Today we've got a story of one game studio that escaped Embracer's clutches. But first,
talks about his
and then it starts,
the weekly
yeah,
topics.
yeah, the weekly topics. He's basically shilling, and we're gonna shill for him. He's talking about Hasbro included, Incorporated is doubling down on video game development. Sony Group Incorporated is looking to buy Kodakawa, who we actually covered last
Yeah.
week, last episode, which they're the main creators of Elden Ring. So unembraced. At his 39th birthday party in September 2020, Theodore Dia declared, slightly inebriated, very nice, that he was going to start his own video game studio before he turned 40. Dia, I believe. Dia?
I don't know.
Dia? I think it's Dia.
Dia? Sounds
I
right.
bet Diea. Dia. I think it's
Dia.
going to be Dia. Yeah, so Dia, a producer at Ubisoft's Entertainment SA, was sick of corporate politics and massive teams and ready to do something new. Half a year later, Daya took action on that tipsy promise when he saw a tweet that had gotten very little attention. A label called Amplifier Game Invest, a division of the Swedish corporation Embracer Group AB, and they were offering aspiring entrepreneurs the opportunity to build their own outfits. Embracer would own and fund the studios, but give them operational autonomy and institutional support. So Daya went on to say, that seemed like the right path for me. I wasn't looking for a get rich quick scheme. And I was like, oh, what a legend. So, in a world where everything is capitalistic, it's nice to see somebody that's just like, let's invest in something that might be successful. So by the fall of 2021, Daya had started his new company, Goose Byte. Sorry, Goose Byte. Over the following year, he ordered computers and assembled a team of more than a dozen people who were making plans for their first project, The Signal, a sci-fi survival game set on an alien planet. Things seemed to be progressing well, but the economic landscape was changing, and no game company was impacted more than Embracer, which had overextended itself by gobbling up studios across the world. In spring 2023, Embracer announced that a $2 billion deal, later revealed to be with Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund, had failed to materialize and that it would be embarking on a complete restructuring and cost cutting plan which would lead to layoffs and closures. Daya started doing the math. He said, I looked at the studios that were within that group and just did a quick mental calculation. His company was located in Montreal, an expensive city, and would not be delivering on a new product for a long time. Two red flags. It looked like things could go sideways for us, he recalled. So very quickly, Daya said, things got a bit more real. He realized that he had two options. He could continue operating as if nothing had happened and risk getting shut down, or he could find another route. Not doing something would have been irresponsible, he said. And he continued by saying, it looked like we were going to be one of the first ones to get hit because we were not going to be generating revenue. The solution was both obvious and risky. Goosebite would have to spin out. Daya calculated how much it would cost for the studio to run independently and how long he could afford to fund it himself. Then he started talking to his bosses. It was an amicable, geez, that's such a difficult word for me to say sometimes. It was an amicable conversation, a process that felt fair on both sides, he said. Embracer wanted to cut costs, while Goosebite wanted to stay solvent. So the two parties had mutual interest in parting ways. 2 weeks later, Goosebite was an independent company, and Daya had suddenly responsible for paying the salaries of more than a dozen people, much to the dismay of his significant other. My partner in life hates my tolerance to risk. Let's say everything was shielded to not involve my partner's money. Genius. So in August 2023, they announced their game and put up a Steam page, hoping to attract interest from publishers and investors. But then they began running into the same problem as the rest of the video game industry. Everyone's wallets were closed. Potential investors said they loved the game, but that it wasn't the right time. One venture capital fund agreed to a significant investment, then pulled out at the last minute. Parting ways with Embracer had been the right move. Daya's former employer would go on to lay off thousands of employees and cancel dozens of games. They went on to say, you can debate the speed we want to build organic growth, but the ambition was obviously too aggressively organically grow the company. Embracer Chief Executive Officer Lars Wingforce said on the earnings call earlier this year, now we need to adjust for that. But after the separation, Daya was forced with the same economic headwinds. He encouraged his staff to apply for new jobs as necessary and scrambled to find other financing options, like tax credits provided by the Quebec government. He said that he didn't want to take over the studio to then fire people. I don't blame him for that. That would be terrible. Over the summer, what remained of his team slashed the scope of the game and switched gears. Rather than waiting for investors, they would go straight to players. They took an early build of the Signal and threw it online to a limited group of playtesters in hopes of getting feedback and cultivating a community. A process that was scary for the team, Daya said, but worthwhile. He says, we had 1,500 people sign up for the first play test, and half of the people who signed up played it. Feel
Okay.
that. I signed up for Splitgate 2 and I have yet to play it. I
Hmm.
think the play test, it might have been today. I don't know. It's soon. But anyways, that's a side note for me. So in August, buoyed by the early feedback, Goose Byte went to 2024 Gamescom Video Game Conference with a different mindset. They still wanted funding, but now they had other options. Dia said that the pitch was, "We're going to ship the game with or without you. With funding, we have more iterations, a proper marketing campaign. If not, we're doing it anyway." Nice. Throughout 2023, they had been asking for $5 million in development budget. A year later, they were seeking 600,000 with options for an additional few hundred thousand for marketing and publishing. Suddenly, potential investors were much more interested, both because of the player interest and the reduced scope. Over the past few weeks, Daya and his team have received multiple offer sheets, making Goosebite one of the rare independent studios that has found funding in 2024. They were hoping to lock in a deal by the end of the year. So Daya said that it's not riches upon riches, but it's enough for us to get a solid version of the game out and then see what happens. For a studio that once seemed doomed to be another Embracer casualty, it's an unexpected happy ending. I think the ending is unexpected. Whether or not it's going to be a happy ending, I don't know yet. I think they need to officially launch the game and it need to be a success. To break even to me would be a success in this case. But it's a
Yeah.
very cool story to hear how it works. It gives like a bit of a behind the scenes look of what an owner of a studio has to sacrifice in order to make things happen, you know?
Yeah, it really is. Like, I think it's interesting here. And I really can appreciate the strategy of like, let's just get to people. Like, let's get the game in front of people and like really kind of maybe get some
That is such a good
playtesters.
strategy, right? Yeah.
It's a good strategy. I know a lot of people probably like, oh, but like if you're playtesting, you get paid for that. Totally understand and respect that. But it's like there's people out there who are down to check out new games and just have nothing else better to do. And so it's like an opportunity like this to play something new and be a limited and get like a limited group of people and be a part of like an exclusive group that gets early access. I think it's enticing enough for a lot of people. So I think taking advantage of that was definitely the right move. I think too, like the insight of Dia to just be like, hey, like just at Embracer, be like, all right, I don't think like this isn't looking good. So like, let me just get out of this now and just deal with the fallout because this is going to be a lot easier to deal with than what is inevitably coming. And that is people just getting cut and laid off and all that. So I mean, I commend him for having that foresight, and I think you sounds like years of experience kind of helped out with that decision. So it's good to see.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
yeah, I really not much else to add. I agree with you 100%. It's such a good strategy to do that, to actually come with evidence of like, hey, this is what our recent playtest is showing. It's yielding results and potential. You can see it here. It's like it's tangible evidence. Please help me fund my employee salaries. You know what I mean? Because you got to keep the doors, you got to keep the lights on, the doors running until the game launches. So I'm sure that's one of the biggest things. And honestly, it looks kind of cool. Um, the survival game that they're calling The Signal, I mean, it's cool.
yeah.
The
He,
graphic art looks pretty
I
neat.
see, I see the
And
poster. Just immediately go to No Man's Sky, and I think it's probably
exactly, I
because of
thought
the
the same
font,
thing. Yeah,
the animals here, but also the red lights, like that are the red beams that are going into the sky. It's very No Man's Sky esque. That's
yeah,
where my head
yeah.
goes, but I don't know. I'd be
The
curious to see
game
what
looks
this game.
very interesting, very
Mm.
fun. You can actually check it out on Steam. I'll link you so you can pull it up to the guys that are watching on Spotify and YouTube real quick.
Okay, hold on.
You, I also sent you a picture for the thummy.
Nice.
But
All right, let's see the
I
signal.
really like their if you watch one of the videos for Steam, right? In the trailer for the game, the cinematic trailer, the sound of their studio logo, well, not the studio logo, it's like, you know how Lion there's a good example. It's like the intro to the company, right? It's like the
Mm.
branding.
Mm.
Lion Gate, when you watch a movie, it's the lion
Yeah.
roar, right?
Yep.
Yeah. This is a goose, and it's a goose like I don't know if it's a squeak, a squack, like It's almost a quack, but quack like ducks quack. I don't know what geese do. I guess they do the same thing,
Yeah, I
but
guess.
it's almost like a bark. But yeah, it looks cool.
Oh,
Looks
it's
like
got
a
a nice little,
survival
yeah.
horror space game, right?
Really a
Kind
survival
of
because you
kind of
could build.
spooky. Yeah, a little bit of.
Okay.
You made a very good point to say it's similar to No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair comparison. No Man's Sky launched in a very interesting state, to say the least. It's highly successful now. Small
Yeah.
indie dev, and if this has signs of potential, dude, I think people just love space sims in
Oh yeah.
general. There's always fascination with that. So if you make a quality one, it's gonna have success.
Yeah, I think so. Um, saw this. You can see some frame dips here. There's just
Yeah.
you see a little bit in the trailer, some frame dips, but hey,
Y-
there's. I mean, hey, a
You got
rover that
vehicles.
they could drive
Yeah.
around.
Give me the option
Okay.
to make some race courses. I
All
mean,
right, that
dude, we're
the
gonna have
logo's sick. Goose in a backwards
yeah.
cap.
Yep.
It's funny.
Goose in the backwards cap, and it does the little goose honk. I think it's a honk. Kinda,
Let's see.
let's see.
Oh,
What sound does a goose make?
all right, we're gonna play this for
Honks, barks, and cackles.
That's funny. Little burring.
Bro, have you ever heard a goose hiss?
Oh yeah, it's weird.
Dude,
It's weird.
yeah, it's weirdly terrifying.
Yeah.
Very
It
weird, very
certainly
terrifying.
is, dude. Certainly
Yeah,
is.
but I just wanted to look that up, give a little more context to what they're working on, and I don't know. That means it's to be announced. You could probably get in here and get the early access, stuff like that. A little bit of play testing.
Perhaps,
Check it out, man.
perhaps. Looks neat.
I love like giving a little bit of a highlight to small devs and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yep. Let's go, boys. Let's go. The
Yes, sir.
signal. The signal.
All right. Why don't you drop us in
Talk
to
about
what the
testing?
heck is going on with Microsoft?
Talk about testing, Mike?
Yeah.
Shoot.
Let's go. You said we talk about testing.
Dude, oh my gosh. All right. This is coming from The Verge. Wes Davis is the writer of this article. Microsoft is testing a new in-game browser. Edge Game Assist, a new Microsoft Game Bar browser overlay for finding info about games without leaving your session, is available to beta testers now. Very interesting, Mike. Very interesting. Game. I mean, like, I think for most people, I feel like most people probably have. I'm curious how much is going to get used, I guess what I'm saying. Because I feel like most people probably have a decent enough PC where you can, like, just alt tab and then search and do whatever. Makes you curious how often this would actually get used. But okay. All right. All right.
I think it's probably to prevent you from tabbing out of your full screen game, right?
Yeah. If you have one monitor, great. You can just
Yeah.
go to KG.
Yeah, that's dude, actually that's a good point. Not a lot of people have multiple monitors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's carry on, shall we? Microsoft has announced that Microsoft Edge Game Assist, a new Edge-powered in-game browser overlay, is available for beta testing in Windows 11. The game-aware overlay lives in the Microsoft Game Bar and is designed to automatically find and show you links to tips and guides for the game you're playing using the Edge browser. Game Assist uses the profile you're logged into in Edge, so it'll give you access to your data like cookies, autofill, and favorites, so you don't need to log into sites again. But like, I'm using Chrome.
Why does that have to be Edge?
Why am I using Chrome or Firefox or Brave, like, or Opera GX, dude?
There's gonna be mods or plugins for sure, right?
Something.
It can't be that hard to like switch it out.
I mean, I know Edge is Chromium, but like, I'm not using Edge though.
I thought you were about to say cringe. I know Edge is cringe.
Man, I typically avoid calling stuff cringe unless it's like really bad.
Yeah,
I'll save it for Edge. So, Game Assist uses the profile you're logged into in Edge, so it'll give you. Oh yeah, I just read that. Like other game bar widgets, you can pin it above your game as you play. Game Assist is currently available in English, and you'll need to opt into the preview and set Microsoft Edge Beta 132 as your default browser to use it. I have a little video featuring
Let's get into it.
the Game Edge Assist. Plays a little 16-second clip. Literally, the user is opening a game bar, and you see Game Assist in the right panel and a little kind of like slender, thin window. And using the browser to like look up tips and tricks for their game. It's even got links to like how to beat and stuff like that. So you can see kind of all that. But it's literally just a thin kind of browser.
Honestly, I would like that because right now I told you I was playing COD and I'm trying to rank up certain guns to get the certain attachments to big like the perfect build. And you can use a website that basically has all the profiles of all the different COD guns. Maybe you're familiar with it. Here, I'll give the name. It is True Game Data. But basically what they do is like you have the base gun and then you can add all the attachments you want before you even unlock them. It's just like an open browser kind of thing. You select what you want and it will tell you like the pros and the cons of those attachments and that build from like a technical standpoint. Like how much damage will it do? How quick does it make your gun? Like the rate in which you can shoot after sprinting or switching guns. Like it gives you all these metrics from an engineering perspective. And I love that stuff so much. So, but the problem I've been dealing with is like, crap, I have to have it on my secondary monitor when I'd rather just, if I had this, then I wouldn't have to tab out. I would just do like Windows G and now I'm in. Yeah.
There's a use case. There you go.
Yeah.
There is a use case.
Also, they show great examples of this too. It's like the next paragraph's talking about Baldur's Gate 3. I can't really speak to that, but Diablo 4, knowing where everything is on the map, you can use the cheat guides, right?
Yeah.
Windows G. So I could see this being an option. I hate how it's Microsoft Edge, but I can see this being very viable.
Yeah. So this is the thing. Well, let's continue. You'll have to find content yourself for most games for now, but the Game Aware part of Game Assist will surface information automatically for a few games, including Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga. Microsoft said it'll be adding support for others throughout the preview and over time. In the second video, Microsoft shows how the overlay looks when used to follow along with video guides. This one's pretty interesting. Full 16-second video, but essentially what they do is they actually have, you go into the game bar, you see a video of some sorts, maybe in a browser. You can essentially full screen it almost. If you hit the full screen button, it pops it out, and then it just overlays over your game while you're playing. So you actually see the video. So if you're doing like a video walkthrough or something like that, it's perfect for that because you say, okay, I need to get through this section. How do I do this? Show me the video while I'm playing. And so you kind of have it on the same monitor and it's out of the way. That's pretty sick. I have to say. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, I really like this. This is cool.
Yeah. That's way that has some practical features, I feel like. So like that. Microsoft says it's collecting feedback in a few ways. Would you like to continue, Mike?
Oh, I was gonna say it was like if you're a completionist and you want to get like a checklist of all the things that you have to do in certain areas. Like I know I used to do that for Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah.
Before I left a certain area, I would have like a whole list, like of everything in that area that I can get, and I would make sure to like knock it off the list, because I would try to get 100% in the game. That would be perfect as well. Very cool.
Really would.
Yeah.
So Microsoft said it's collecting feedback in a few ways. You could share your feedback in Game Assist by going to Settings and More, send feedback. You can also vote on which features you want to see added to Game Assist using the new Game Assist Community Feedback Portal. And we'll be monitoring feedback on r/Microsoft Edge, X, and other social channels as well. Game Assist only supports mouse and keyboard input for the moment. Microsoft writes it's adding support for handhelds and gamepads in the future. Compact mode support is also coming later, the company says. Below are Microsoft's instructions for getting started with Game Assist. So, just going to go through these highlight points. If anyone's interested in installing this, you first have to make sure you have Windows 11 and Game Bar up to date. Game Assist requires the beta or preview channel of Microsoft Edge. If you're running Windows Insider builds on your PC or have opted into Edge Preview, you already have Edge Preview and can skip to step 3. Otherwise, you must install the Microsoft Edge Insider beta channel.
Ew.
Man said, ew. Set Edge Beta as your default browser. You must go to Windows Setting, Apps, Default Apps, search for Edge, and at the top of the page, click Edge Beta Set as Default. To opt into Game Assist Preview and install the Game Bar widget in Edge, you can go to Settings, More Settings, then search for Game Assist in the search box, and find the Game Assist option, and select Install Widget. If you haven't used Edge Beta Preview before in Edge, you must go to Settings and More, close Microsoft Edge, and then reopen the browser. You may have to repeat this step a few times for the Game Assist option to appear. So, pretty straightforward. Gonna install some stuff. you know, all that. But yeah, I don't know. I agree with you, Mike. I think my only downside of this is that it is Microsoft Edge, and don't know
Yeah.
many people that use Microsoft Edge. Granted, Edge far and above, way better than Internet Explorer ever was. So I commend Microsoft for that. Going to something that's Chromium, using something that's more modern tech. Gotta commend them for that. But yeah, dude, I would like. I don't know if I could see myself using this unless they got third-party browser support, and I don't see that happening in the preview. So it's probably gonna be a while.
Not for me.
Probably gonna be a while. But the video overlay stuff is pretty dope. I will say that being able to just overlay over the game and watch something while you're playing, I think it's pretty sick. I could see like game assist in some use cases where you're trying to like, you know, if you want to search something quick and you only have one monitor or something like that, it could probably be beneficial. I'd be interested to see in the future because they said they have some kind of surface level stuff for games already. I almost wonder how that's integrated and if it's like a seamless, like like the game or like game bar detects you at a certain part and then it can suggest like a guide or something like that. I think that'd be pretty sick. Like involve AI in some way there. That's why I'd like to see something like this. Which I think it would make the most sense to be like, and you can have like notifications. You can enable it or disable it of like, do you want game assist to like assist throughout the playthrough and recommend certain things? I think
Yeah,
that'd be
that's
kind of cool.
true. Yeah, how much tips do you want to have? Like, how
Right.
invasive do you want the gaming experience to be? Or like, it's almost like little cheat things to help you out through
Yeah.
story-driven content.
Like hints.
Yeah, hints. Thank you. Yeah, not cheats. Cheats is a little bit more like vulgar.
Yeah.
You need something a little bit more nicer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tips and tricks.
Yeah. I could see something like that. This would be more effective if it was something like that. If it recommended stuff and it was like, hey, like try this, do this, or whatnot. I think that'd be kind of cool. To have some integration with stuff like that. I know that's probably asking a lot at this point, and who knows how many games that actually get support for that. But that's for something like this, I feel like we get true use out of someone like me. To be like, hey, I want hints and stuff like that. Like recommend me when I get in certain sections. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I personally don't see much of a use for this, especially since it's Edge. Dang it, Mike, dude.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Edge doesn't seem like a good idea. It's very annoying. Um,
I mean, look, it's
but at the same
Microsoft. It's
time,
proprietary. I get it, but it's just like I just don't want to get it, dude. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just a shame. But the good news is this could be this could be good. If you want to turn it off, you should be able to turn it off, right?
Yeah,
So I think if you like disable your game bar, you won't get it, so that's fine. But in terms of what PCs can actually handle now going forward, this could be a really good thing for people that are like casual gamers, they're not like competitive, they don't care about the optimal super most frames ever. It's like,
yeah,
let's get this going so we can play single player games. We can watch videos now up in the top hand corner if we're on one monitor. It's like that, like this could be really cool for a lot of people. I could definitely see this being an option. Um, and it's just, I think, the future of all devices. I don't know if you have this, but on my devices, my like Samsung devices, I can have like 3 or 4 different windows open at a time, playing multiple videos, and it's pretty sick how that's even a thing. So it's
still
like,
the ultimate zoomer
yeah,
device. Yeah.
dude. It's a different breed. I think I've even showed it to you. It was like I had like TikTok going, YouTube going. I had a Twitch window open, and I had every single sports. Like I'm a fan of multiple sports teams and different like sports, and I had all their scores going all at the same time. It was so much stuff. Um, but it's
Funny.
possible now. It's like really cool, and I'm able to do that with like a tablet. I can do that with
Yeah,
my cell phone. So
yeah.
very very cool. And I like the idea of doing it. This is gonna do you think this will ever get rid of like a multi-monitor setup?
No.
No, I don't think so, but
No.
I
Um,
I will say this, if I unplug both of these monitors, I get more FPS and better performance overall by just having one
yeah,
monitor,
it's true.
and I will make that sacrifice in a
Yeah,
competitive standing
I
if I
mean,
need to, you know?
all I'm saying is, I think the only way I could see this getting serious use is if you get if you get AI involved and you just kind of get something that an assistant of sorts that can help you recommend things throughout a playthrough or whatever you're playing. I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
that's kind of where you get the most out of this, but currently, nothing there. It's all user driven.
It is, yeah. Yeah, that's really what it
But
comes down to.
yeah, I don't know. I'll be curious to see kind of how it develops and when it actually releases and whatnot. And gets Chrome support or Firefox support. Am I right, Microsoft? Yeah. Get that
Facts.
Opera support.
Can you upgrade to Microsoft Windows 11 for free? Is that still a thing?
That's a good question. Might be. It really depends if your PC's compatible, I think, at the end of the day. And if it is, you can, but it depends on the hardware. My old hardware, couldn't do it. Had to upgrade.
Dang. I wonder if mine can. How would I even check?
I think you could probably go to like Windows Update or something like that. Or like, the like the update whatever Windows. That would probably tell you if you could.
It tells me right now. I can't update either.
Dang.
It's a sad day. What even are the requirements? Whatever.
I don't remember.
care.
I don't remember.
We don't need this right now. I don't need this edge game.
You know what the people need, Mike? Do you know what they need?
They need the Black Friday deals, sir.
They need the best deals going around. This is a big one.
Oh,
this is a big one.
Buddy. It's a lengthy one. You did me dirty.
Hey, I say we go through it together. Yeah, that's a big one. There's certainly
fair.
There's a lot of different categories, so go through a lot. So we scoured the internet, ladies and gentlemen, try and find the best sort of Black Friday deal list. Something compact, something that's, or I should say compact, but something comprehensive, something that checks all the boxes. And looking through all these, PC Gamer was pretty up there. It was the one that I saw. It is quite literally. So the article is the best Black Friday PC gaming deals of 2024, the best discounts in the run up to the big event. It's kind of the start. It's not just PC, of course. They go through all sorts of stuff. It gets into controllers at some point. It gets into CPUs. It gets into gaming headsets. It gets into a lot of different things. There's a total of 22 different categories across kind of everything. I'll talk about TVs, gaming monitors, it's all over the place. There's a lot. So I think this is the thing. I say we just read this, Mike. So let's just read the opening bit.
But the opening bit. So from PC Gamer, of course, as we've alluded, Dave James. I'm sure he wasn't the only one to participate in writing this article because it is long. But let's get into it. So Black Friday, the consumerist temple to which otherwise fiscally reasonable humans might sacrifice their bank accounts, is now on. The big day itself isn't until Friday, of course, but the deals are flowing. Black Friday week is kind of a thing now, and that means we're always seeing the best Black Friday PC gaming deals littering the tech shelves all the way through the month, and probably beyond through to Christmas. But we've been checking over prices all year long, and we're currently updating this page along with our regular deals pages to keep you up to date with the lie of the land in terms of prices. The first rule of this list, no junk. We spend our weeks testing the latest products to see if they're worthy of our PC gaming setups, and we're putting all of that knowledge to work during the Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales season to recommend the best stuff you can buy. If we don't think it's any good, we're not going to recommend it just because it's on sale. The second rule, here we go, real deals only. It can be hard to sort out the deals from the deals, and that's in quotes, during these big sale events. So we're checking price histories and selecting only genuinely decent or exceptional when we find them. Discounts on PC gaming stuff. Their goal, PC gamers, our goal. Save you from having to trawl through pages of bad products and not actually deals on Amazon, Best Buy, and Newegg yourself. If you do want to directly browse the stores with the biggest sales on PC gaming gear right now, check out the quick links below. Otherwise, keep scrolling for our top recommendations or use the navigation links to jump to a category. So for those of you that are listening on video, audio, everything, we will have the links in the description below, so go down there and check it out. Click on the one for PC Gamer. It would be the last one in the description. So, yeah.
Dude.
I just want to help people out, because some people join in and just be like, where are the Black Friday deals? Then they'll skip to this part. Here it is, buddy.
Here it is, dude. Listen, this is very important. It's another reason I love this, and I love the rules that they have in these articles, because I cannot tell you how many deals, especially on Amazon, they're really bad about this. Yeah. How many deals, not actually deals. And I implore everybody, especially if you're shopping on Amazon, go and download an actual price history plugin, because they are critical for actually finding the actual deals. So I'd recommend anyone because there's so many times I'm like going on Amazon. I'm like, oh, no way, this is 40% off. And I click on it and I'm like, it says 40% off, MSRP, blah, blah, blah. And then I scroll down and it's like the line for price is steady. Just hasn't changed.
Yeah.
It's like,
dude, seriously. Ever since you told me to download that thing, it
Yeah.
had to be like about a year ago. I've been looking constantly and paying attention to that. You can also, so I don't know if you know this, but you can also list things onto, like, you can add to your wish list or any type of list you want. I do that a lot. Like I'll see an item that I want but I don't need, and I'll just be like, yeah, well, if I have like surplus money and I decide, I want to treat myself, I'll add that to the list.
Mhm.
That will keep track of the history for you as well.
Yep.
So that definitely helps out. Yeah.
Yep. It's very true. Yeah, they talk about price match. What does price match mean? So they added a price watch, not price match.
Price watch, yeah.
So they added a feature, which I also like too, scrolling through this, called price watch. And so the price watch qualifier is to our individual deals, make it easy to see whether price has gone up or down since it was last checked. It's important to note that any deal in the guide that PC Gamer provides, even if it's slightly risen in price, is still one of our top picks, as we only show the deals that are actually worth buying. So yeah, dude, I mean, up the top, some of the quick links, they of course, all the major retailers, they have links for, so pretty much all the big Black Friday deals on Amazon, Newegg, Best Buy, Secret Lab for chairs, Dell, iBuyPower, Walmart, pretty much all that. Each individual one is kind of listed. They have good old NVIDIA GeForce gaming PC, GeForce powered gaming PCs. A lot of like kind of decent deals on some with like 40 series cards. Talk about a 4070 build with $1,000. 4080 Supers at like 2300. That's CyberPower PC. And so it's a lot of like pre-builds out there. The Alienware Aurora, which is a 4090, it's 3,000 from Dell. If you really just want to like spend all your money on get the best of the best.
Facts.
They even talk about AMD Radeon powered PCs and have some deals for that. Gaming laptops from Lenovo, MSI, all that's in there at good rates. Also, the separate graphics card deals. I mean, it was cool to see those prices for me. It's like I looked through these. I'm like, 4070, only $470. Okay.
Holy crap! I didn't realize how cheap that was.
Yeah.
Like compared to what they were when they like launched and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's gone down a lot. 4080 Super is $950 right now at Newegg. Are some some RTX, some like Radeon RX series, the 7900 XTX 820 right now at Newegg. High end stuff there. What I like too is they have a little gaming monitor section 2 under this, where it actually goes through and says, "Here's the cheapest 1080p monitor we found," and it's an AS Rock Phantom Gaming. Dude, $100, Mike, for a 1080p monitor. It's just so cheap now, man.
That is crazy. Let me click this link because I'm curious what the refresh rate is on that.
Yeah.
Holy crap! 165 hertz.
$100, dude. That's it. It's not bad.
And what's the refresh? 1 millisecond, dude.
Dude. Crazy. What's even crazier though is there's an AS Rock Phantom. Their 1440p monitor is only 143 on Newegg right now. So 14 for a QHD right now is 143, which is wild.
That is pretty sick.
Also, Gigabyte has like an IPS 144 hertz 4K monitor on Amazon for $330. That's it. It's IPS. 144 hertz 4K display is that cheap now. And I remember those costing like $1,000. It seemed like it was a couple of years ago. So
yeah, dude, it's
wild.
It's kind of nuts.
Yeah,
it's seriously nuts.
Getting cheap, dude. Yeah, nice LG Ultra Gear Ultra Wide. I believe it's QHD. It's only $240 on Amazon. So nice little ultra wide there. And then there's a nice OLED MSI mag display that's $700 on Amazon. So get you a nice OLED display there. And then PC Gamer, they list out all their favorite products across categories. So the best laptop, best monitor, best chair, best headset, kind of their top picks there and kind of what they're priced at. A lot of those are on discount, seemingly. So it's good to check that out. Also, best SSD, kind of all that stuff. Today's top deals. I'm assuming this is going to change kind of throughout the throughout the progression of Black Friday, but it's cool to see like CyberPower PC. I think it's like $250 dollars off, kind of a Ryzen 7 7800X 3D with a 4070 Super CyberPower PC. I know there's a lot of deals going on right now. Corsair TC100. Here you go, Mike. Nice little fabric leatherette gaming chair. 180 right now. Dude. It's priced it's $70 off at Best Buy. And across everything, Amazon, Corsair website, it's all on sale. So we'll see that. On the monitor we just talked about, the MSI Mag, which is that OLED, the QD 4K, 165 Hz OLED display for $700. Discount on $130. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. The laptops, Lenovo Legion Pro 7 has a 4080 Core i9. It's a 16-inch 1600p, 240 Hz, 32 gigs of RAM, DDR5, 1 terabyte SSD laptop, for only $2,000 right now. So
it's pretty nutty.
Yeah, pretty it's a crazy specs for a laptop. It's cool to see that. That ASRock Phantom Gaming, that 1080p monitor we showed earlier, again, it's only $100, 165 Hz refresh rate, IPS too. I'm noticing a lot of these monitors now. It's like I'm not seeing many like TN panels now. It's just like it's IPS or bust. I feel like, especially with the way things are priced now. It's like there's no reason not to go IPS. So, and it's one of those things. I have 3 TN panels, so hey, maybe I should take advantage, get an IPS display, get some better color. Yeah, dude, that's there. Yeah, they go through kind of their big deals and kind of more detail about each one. I think what I like about this article the most, and what we're going to talk about now, is when they talk about each kind of category for like gaming PC deals or like just anything. Kind of different writers throughout PC Gamer give their input, and they at each kind of section. So for this one, it's 5 things I always tell people before they buy a new gaming PC. This comes from Jacob Fox. He's the hardware writer at PC Gamer. He says the 5 things he always says is 1, start by choosing a graphics card. 2, 16 gigabytes RAM is fine on a budget, but try to get DDR5. I think it's a good tip.
That's
3, make sure it has an NVMe SSD with 1 terabyte of capacity or more. Again, I think it's especially nowadays, people better be getting at least an SSD for your OS drive. Get one that's at least like a terabyte. Don't go cheap on it. I'm seeing it's so annoying. I have a 250 gig SSD that I got. It goes
quick, dude.
Oh, it goes so fast, man. So please, for all that is holy, it is affordable now. Get something that's over 500 gigs for an OS drive, please.
Seriously.
There's no excuse not to now. Consider your CPU's general performance and socket upgradability. I think it's good. And remember, you can always upgrade later, which is another thing. You don't have to get everything now. You don't have to go all out now.
No, get something base now. And I think the most important thing you can do is have a really good motherboard, have a decent CPU, because those two are going to be the like really good storage and really good power. I think those are the main ones that you need to go for. The rest you can upgrade over time.
Yeah, sure. But it's cool. I mean, so that article he kind of talks about there's a lot of like cheaper kind of PCs. So there's a nice little $430 PC here, which is Ryzen 5 5600G, 16 gigs of DDR4 and a terabyte SSD. Yeah, it's not crazy specs, but I mean for $430, I mean it's kind of a console killer maybe.
You can play a lot of games with that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean it just goes down the list. There's so many PCs. I would implore anyone to go and look. A lot from CyberPower. I love the CyberPower one. It's got like the 3 LED fans, or the RGB kind of fans in the front.
Obsessed.
Love it, man.
RGB.
A lot of these pre-builds, man, they're really just well made, and it's neat. It's cable management and all that. It just looks clean. If you want something where you don't have to put in a lot of work, I would look into a pre-build. Yes, there's a lot of deals out there.
You know what's always worth for the people that are like actually thinking about buying a PC for the first time and they want to get a pre-built or something like that. Look up Linus Tech Tips. He did an entire, what was it called? Secret Shopper, where he purchased from pretty much every main manufacturer and then he gives an honest review. And he made sure that nobody knew who he was when he was purchasing it. They used like a fake name, like the money was real, obviously, but they used like a fake name, a fake address, fake everything, so they couldn't be traced for who they actually were because they didn't want to get special treatment. And then they tested out like customer service. Have you seen this video? It came out like 4 or 5 years ago.
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've actually seen it.
It was amazing. I hope they can do that again. It's definitely worth the time for them to do it again, just to check in and see like how people are. He's done it a couple of times with Starforge, who like Asmongold and his like conglomerate of like not conglomerate, but like the group of people that he works with, all the content creators that teamed up to make custom PC. he always did that. He was like, he orders a top of the line or like maybe it depends on the video, of course. It was like either high end, medium, or low range like style computer, and then he opens it up and he breaks it apart and he basically goes super nerd and basically says like stress test everything, make sure that what it says it can actually handle. It's very very cool.
Yeah.
So if you do your
Okay.
research and you kind of know what you're doing with the pre-builds, then you can make that stretch, man. You can really get something out of that.
Yeah, for sure. So the next section is talk about gaming laptops. Jacob really came up with 5 things. 5 things I want you to think about before you buy your first gaming laptop. I think it's cool stuff. He says 1, 16-inch gaming laptop is almost always ideal. I like that size,
Yeah.
good screen size. I think for a work machine, I like a little like 13-inch kind of 13, 15.
Okay.
That's pretty ideal for me.
Mm.
Check for a spare NVMe SSD slot. Can you expand it? Obviously. Spend your money on the better GPU. I think it's fair on a gaming laptop. Make sure you're not missing out on memory, and do the laptop specs make sense together? Those are all good points. It's cool to see the handhelds. It's really like because he talks about laptops. It's laptops and handhelds in this section. I think it's worth noting the MSI Claw A1M is a Core Ultra 5 135H. It's a 7-inch screen, got a half terabyte SSD, Windows 11, 16 gigs of RAM. It's a handheld that's only 366 right now. So kind of a huge, like pretty much 50% off. So it's good to. I think it could be like a good entry handheld for some people. The Steam Deck doesn't look like there's really a sale going on right now, but it's obviously one. Lenovo Legion Go. It seems like that one's $200 off right now. So talked about the Lenovo Legion Go here. Kind of the Joy-Con like kind of controllers with it. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool though.
Pretty cool. Seeing the laptops. The ROG Ally X is currently $100 off. Another good one. 24 gigs of RAM and that tiny little device. It's crazy, dude. Crazy.
It is very impressive. That's for sure.
Yeah. Acer Predator, MSI Katana. There's so many different laptop deals. Definitely worth going in, checking out.
Yeah, the laptop deals are probably the most overwhelming one, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because I feel like there's a problem, especially in the laptop space, where they're always so geared towards like you need to have Alienware. Look at all these LEDs and this light up stuff that we have. Oh yeah, well, Acer's the more affordable option. It's like they all have like some type of brand marketing. And it's like
Yeah.
just you have to spend some time, do some actual research, understand the specs. That's what it is to me, and
Yep.
it's a task, man, because you can buy one of these and they'll be burnt out within 2 years.
Yep.
I've
It's
done it
true, dude.
myself, so
It's true. I think Dave James kind of hints to that in the next one when they talk about graphics card deals. He said the 5 things I always tell people before they buy their first graphics card is it's all about your budget. Buy the graphics card, not the
yeah,
brand. It's kind of what you're talking about. Like it goes for
yeah,
anything really. Just make sure you do your research. He said, yeah, it's also about your monitor too. Also important. What res do you want to play at? Really gotta think about that. You can always wait for the new generation, but don't automatically ignore the last gen cards. And it's even the thing about CPUs too, right? Like you may not necessarily want to buy the latest and greatest for CPUs. Maybe 2 or 3 generations back is all you need. So
it really is,
thinking
dude.
about kind of that. It's
Yeah.
always easy to upgrade, which is the case in all this. It's pretty easy to upgrade.
Yeah,
So yeah, just be mindful of that. It's cool to see the graphics card deals. There's some decent ones. The Acer Arc A7700. Is that a? I was supposed to say that was Intel. Jeez, it's crazy.
yeah, right.
Yeah. The RTX 4060 Ti. That was actually not on sale. So yeah, it's cool. We see some of the price watch stuff go into effect. Looks like the RX 7800 XT has actually gone down on price since this started. So it's cool to see the price watch. A lot of it's kind of stagnant for the most part. But it's cool to see. Yeah, dude, there's so many options for graphics cards out there. I mean, Zotac, I know is oftentimes like the more budget card, but like, they're performant, man. They're good. I think you can do no wrong with something like a Zotac. So yeah, it's cool to see all this. Today's best NVIDIA graphics card deals. Yeah, it's linking 1050s. So I don't know. This AI link generation thing. I don't know about this.
Yeah,
it's like pulling the cheapest cards, not necessarily the ones.
it could do a little bit better, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I think from my point of view, man, there are a lot in here that I'm very interested in. So I have a 2070 Super, and
Yep.
I need to make an upgrade. I've had a couple of crashes. Like I don't get 144 frames on of a 2K monitor.
Mm,
Sometimes it's very very annoying. So I'm like, dang man, like I can't play Halo Infinite. I think it's because my GPU's dying over
mm,
time, and
yeah.
I use RTX voice. But when I'm playing COD, I have to turn it off because my voice turns robotic.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
think my graphics card is just not capable anymore because like RTX voice was new for my
Mm,
graphics card, right? Now I'm thinking, I'm like, dude, I mean, I could get this like I could be chilling with an overclocked 4060 RTX. Like that's a pretty big upgrade and it's only $300.
yeah.
So now I'm like, dude, maybe I should. You know what I mean? Should we be riding? It's just
Yeah, yeah, it's
I don't
crazy.
know. We'll see. But
Yeah.
it makes
Hey,
you
dude.
think. That's what I love about this time of year. Like,
Yeah. Hey,
let's get
dude.
consumeristic.
2070, dude. It's a couple years old. Couple generations back.
It is, yeah. Yeah.
So
2070 Super came out, I think, in like 2018 or something, 2019.
yeah, something like
So
that. So hey, man, could be time at least go 30 series. There's some affordable 30 series out there, especially if you go maybe on the used side. So
mhm.
gaming
Now is
monitors,
the
Mike.
time.
Got to think about some stuff with gaming monitors. Dave James even says it. Can you afford OLED? Can you really afford OLED? I don't know, dude. OLED's pretty expensive, especially in gaming monitor sets. So I don't know.
Yeah, it is
Um,
expensive, but the quality you get is really good. It just depends on what
um,
you're using.
yep.
Um,
Yeah, it sure does. I mean, yeah, he mentions HDRs are nice to have, not need to have, which is very true. I mean, HDR is kind of cool. It's a TV in the living room. I got HDR. I've played Xbox games on it. Looks
oh yeah.
amazing. It's like when I'm on my PC, I'm not as like, oh, I need HDR. So I don't know. I guess it depends on kind of a. I don't know, I'm not super impressed by it, but it is noticeable. Um, yeah, how many screens do you want? Like you were saying, Mike, how performing you want your PC to be? You get more screens, get more stuff for the card to deal with, can all bog it down. So
Yeah, dude, I mean, it just comes down to what you want. It's like if you want first person shooters, you want the maximum amount of frames. Do you really need three monitor setup? No, probably
yeah,
not. But
probably
if
not.
you're playing like something as classic as World of Warcraft or like freaking RuneScape, dude, give me all the monitors.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
have my actual like sports team over here on the TV kind
Yep.
of monitor set up, watching YouTube on the other one. It's like
Yep.
there's multiple options.
Yeah.
Just really depends on what you want
Yep.
to do.
It also depends on your GPU. Be mindful of that. What can your
That's
GPU
fact.
handle? And don't go unnecessarily chasing refresh rates, which I feel like I was a little bit like that when I built my PC. I was like, I'd wanted to try and squeeze every frame out and stuff, and then I realized it didn't really matter that much. It's like 10 frame difference, not that big of a deal.
No, not really.
So yeah, it's cool to see, dude. There's a 1080p 100 hertz monitor, Acer. It's only $90. Yeah, there's some good deals across kind of all sorts of monitors right now, and especially the 1080p market, everything's pretty cheap. 1440p even. It's like this is an IPS 100 hertz 1440 display. That's only $140 at Best Buy. So it's crazy, man. Maybe time for me to upgrade soon. Might give me a little 1440p joint.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, it's looking enticing. Seeing all these cheap 1440p, 240 hertz, like 244 hertz or 240 hertz, 140, yeah, 1440p. Got these numbers. An IPS curved display, 250. Save 100 on Newegg. It's crazy. It's wild out here, man. 4K monitors, dude. 144 hertz, 4K gigabyte
This is
monitor,
actually a crazy deal.
$330, dude. 4K 144 hertz
That's
IPS.
that's insanity. And it's
It's
a
pretty good.
gigabyte.
Yeah.
The LG is what so I have an LG right now. It's actually very similar to this, but it's the 2K version.
Yeah.
144 hertz IPS, $510. Dude, that's a deal. Whether or not you want
Oh
to
man.
believe it, it's 32-inch. That's so big.
Yeah, that is huge. That's a big monitor, dude. It's a big boy.
That's a single
Um,
monitor setup, dude.
dude, yeah,
That's
dude. There's
cool.
there's a gigabyte curved 4K 144 for 480. Pretty decently sized. The Samsung Odyssey Arc second gen 55-inch 4K 165 hertz mini LED curved monitor. Dude, that's a TV, dude.
Jeez.
55 inches, bro. That's a TV.
That
That's
ain't a monitor.
$1,800, man. It's crazy. And
It's
then
a
the ultra
thousand
wide
twelve
deals,
hundred
dude.
dollars off. I know some people during this time of year
Ultra
they'll
wide.
buy these things and they'll flip them in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
how
the
they make
ultra
their
wide
money, I
deals.
guess.
The ultra wide deals, Mike.
Yeah,
Want a 34-inch ultra wide, 1440p,
kind of.
160 hertz, curved for 240. That's all you need. Samsung Odyssey is actually going down in price a little bit. That's a crazy deal. It's actually $250 off. That's insane. That's actually the deal. But yeah, dude,
So
many.
wild, man.
All right, now
Electronics are getting so much cheaper. The ultra wide.
OLED. We're getting into the OLED, like OLED monitors. $575 for a 34-inch 1440p 175 hertz QD OLED curved. I mean, an OLED monitor, are you kidding me, dude? I won't lie. The colors would be crazy on that thing.
Yeah, it would be pretty sick.
Yeah. This is where, deal. Once you get to the OLEDs, it's where you start approaching the $700, $800 territory for a monitor. So, it's pretty crazy. Dude, this is a 49-inch ultra wide. Where am I going to fit that, Mike? 49 inches? It's crazy. I mean, dude, the res is insane, dude. It's 5,120 by 1440.
Good luck finding wallpaper.
Literally.
You know? Like
you need wallpaper engine. Good luck.
Jeez, dude.
144 hertz curved display. It's $900. It's actually $200 off right now on Amazon. It's crazy. Gigabyte Aorus.
Dude, 49 inches, dude.
That's insane. The huge desk.
So big. That's like, my goodness. I would get rid of everything.
Yeah, literally.
On my desk.
Don't need monitors, nothing. Just one giant one. I'd be curious. Oh, dude, I'd be curious how gaming on that would be like. Like, could you just game on what was effectively a single monitor if you just have it in the middle and then?
Oh, dude, no. We're bringing back black bars from back in the day. That's what's gonna happen.
The ultra wide. Dude, that's crazy. It's wide. That's immersion. If you're playing like an RPG on that thing, that's immersion.
Dude, there's another one down here by Samsung Odyssey G9. Look at that.
Dude, oh my, it's another one. Yeah. 240 hertz this time. That's breaking the $1,000 mark. For an ultra
love
wide.
This. Read that description.
All evidence points to this being a computer monitor, but let's be real. This is a surfboard that can display moving pictures. An extremely nice surfboard, to be sure. You're getting just about every bell and whistle you could want in an ultra wide monitor at the steepest discount we've seen. Yeah, it's $700 off for this monitor. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah,
which is wild, dude. That's insane.
That's just
monitors, man.
On my wish list.
Monitors, man. Monitors. Crazy out here.
It's on the wish list now. Maybe somebody. Oh, sorry, I can't add that to my wish list. No.
All right, dude. We got to talk about TVs briefly. All right, there's some insane TV deals. 55-inch 4K, 144 hertz mini LED. It's actually a crazy deal. It's $600 off. It's only $664 for that. It's pretty nuts.
This is what we really need to know for my sake.
Yeah.
But there's also another period of time in the United States when it is also good to find deals on TVs, and it is Super Bowl weekend. The week following Super Bowl weekend, everybody buys TVs for their parties, and then they return them the next day, and then the stores that they bought them from do open box sales.
Deals,
Yep. Where they've only been used once, and plug them in at the store, make sure it works, you're good to go. But yeah, there's some steep deals here, like $600 on a couple of these. Dude, this one at the end, holy crap! Dude, I'll let you get it. Yeah, you're looking at it.
Dude, the LG OLED Evo AI C4. It's a 65-inch 4K 144 hertz OLED display.
My
goodness. It is so it's $1,500. It's actually $1,200 off according to this. So it's an insane deal. It says big bucks like this get you a big TV, albeit with a somewhat silly name. But what a TV it is! Samsung's S90D is a slightly better display, but you're still getting a lovely panel here. Masses of real estate and all the gaming features, VRR, all ALLM, HDR that you could want. That's crazy, dude. $1,500, but that's an OLED 65-inch.
So crazy.
You know that looks insane. Oh man.
All right, what do we got else here? Some storage?
Yeah, do some storage stuff. SSD deals. 5 things I can always tell people before they buy their first SSD. Check your motherboard's SSD slots, ports first. Yeah, make sure you have them. Get the largest capacity SSD you can afford, yes. Get yourself a Gen 4 PCIe 4.0 NVMe SSD. It goes without saying. We're in 2024. Get yourself an NVMe.
Wake up.
DRAM-less SSDs. DRAM-less SSDs are perfectly fine for gaming. Check your motherboard to see if you need an SSD with a pre-fitted heatsink. That's also important too, because there's a lot of motherboards that actually offer thermal pads and plates that you can
Yeah.
actually install over your SSDs. So if you have a heatsink on your SSD, it's like it's just pointless. If you have the pads, you don't need one. But if you don't have the heatsink kind of thermal pads in your motherboard, you don't have that thing. You need to get one with a heatsink so it doesn't burn. So
Yeah.
pretty important.
Yeah.
To get.
The heatsink on SSD should not be taken for granted. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, dude, here's a whole list of NVMe. Like, there you go. A lot of these are 512. I see a lot of these like half a terabyte is like maybe if you want to do an OS, but even then I'd just be like, dude, just for $55 you can get a Team Group. I've never heard of this brand, but it's a terabyte and it's an M.2.
Yeah.
So
I've noticed, in my personal opinion, sticking with the brands that you recognize is the way to go.
for
That's just how I've
SSDs,
always
yeah,
done it.
probably agree. Samsung 990 Evo Plus, it's a terabyte. Samsung's a great brand for SSDs. It's one I recommend. It's only $80 right now for a terabyte. Has decent read and writes. The Western Digital Black series is also really good. From what I've heard, it's $80 right now for a 1 terabyte. Insane speeds. I just love this Crucial one. This Crucial drive. It has a giant fat heatsink on it. This is like absurd for an SSD. I feel like, but hey,
Oh yeah.
I
It
don't
is
know thermodynamics,
too
Mike.
much.
So I don't.
No,
Maybe
that's too much. I mean, well,
I think it's so
actually,
fat.
maybe the speeds are kind of incredible here. You got
Yeah,
11,700
pretty
megabits
crazy. Yeah.
of read,
We'll get hot.
and then
Sure.
9,500 megabytes of per second, by the way, of write. So that could
Uh,
get kind of hot,
yeah.
I guess.
If you absolutely must have the fastest possible SSD, you need to get a Gen 5 model. And then Team Group's Z540 is ridiculously quick in benchmarks. Yeah, it's very fast, as we can see, but yeah, I guess you need the fat heatsink for that. So, it's justifiable, I guess. Yeah, dude. There's Silicon Power I've never heard of that brand. Probably wouldn't recommend it. Team Group has some more stuff. The 2 terabyte stuff. I mean, yeah, this is all like, especially the kind of no name stuff. It's cycling around $100. You start getting into kind of the higher name brand stuff. It gets a little more. It's like an extra $20-$30, but I would probably spend that little extra just for something like a Western Digital or a Samsung or something like that. So I would certainly recommend something like that. 4 terabyte. This might be something I can look into, dude. A 4 terabyte kind of just clanger banger, dude. Of a SSD. Like, dude, $250 for a Western Digital Black, but it's 4 terabytes. Might be worth, man.
It very much might, yeah.
Very much,
Yeah,
but yeah, dude. SSD stuff, Mike. Let's go. Also, external SSDs, which I know are something I've been looking into, especially for like podcast related stuff. The external ones do get a little more pricier, I feel like, though, than internal for obvious reasons. So to look out for, dude. A Samsung T7 Shield is a 4 terabyte SSD. It actually says right here $230 off. It's only $270 right now. Probably a good deal for a little external. But yeah, dude, it's we got. Let's just move on to gaming chairs, Mike. We gotta help the mic out here, right?
Oh,
We go to
please.
gaming chair.
Help.
So the 5 tips, if a deal is too good to be true, it probably is. Adjustable armrests are handy.
Sure.
Mega reclining chairs aren't. Yeah, that stupid like lay flat. When are you ever laying flat in a gaming chair? Let's be honest, Mike. What are we doing? No, we're not. So you don't need a headrest, but lumbar support is a must. Hey. Quality pays in the long run. Very important. Best chair for you isn't necessarily a gaming chair. That's another thing. That's what I talked about earlier.
That's
dude. Office chairs. Office chairs, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, sometimes you do not need a gaming chair. That's a fact.
Yep.
But all of these are gaming brands.
Yep. I mean, what do you think, Mike? What is your kind of thing? Like, you want a gaming chair? Is that what you're looking for?
I do not care. Let me put it that way. I just don't care. I have a current list of a game that I like, a chair that I want to get. It is. I'll actually show you. I don't know anything about this, and this is an exact like sale, but it was allegedly 23% off. It looks kind of cool. It's an ergonomic branded chair. It has 301 ratings and 4.4 stars. So who freaking knows? It's from a brand I've never even heard of. Patio Mage store.
Mike, why don't you just get a sim racing cockpit? That's what I would do.
Dude, that's a fact.
For $170
wheel and stuff too.
Get a foldable sim racing cockpit. It's got a little pedal stand. Got a little wheel handle.
Clean. It does look clean.
Dude, this was actually looks. It's $550. I would never ever buy this, but it looks rad, and it looks like an actual racing chair. It's pretty sick. Well, you see trophy. Sick, yeah. Oh, That's crazy, man. I just love the cheaper reviews, dude. I remember I had like one of these kind of like little rolling like furniture chairs when I was young. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. Oh man, there's some mics, dude. There's all sorts of deals. Do we need a new mic for Mike, dude?
Nah, I'm okay right now.
Still Series Alias Pro. Yeah, I forgot about this. Pretty good deals though. Sure, the MV7 Plus, which is actually USB dynamic. It's actually on sale. It's $30 off. See, the thing about the Shure mics, there are discounts, but they're never really steep, just because they're Shure. So
yeah,
all that.
Yeah,
dude, webcam deals. Does anyone need a new webcam? The Logitech C920S, 1080p, 30 FPS, USB is only $45.
That is a really good camera for only $50, $45.
Yeah, it's true, dude.
Just saying, like normal price $70, it's still worth it at that price point. Those are really good cameras. And remember when they went through the freaking roof in 2020 when everybody went home? So yeah, if you get those early, you'd be fine.
Yep. The Razer Kaio Pro, which is the 1080 60 FPS, it's actually $100 off on Amazon right now. So nice little webcam there. Elgato's Facecam Mark II. It's a 1080 60 or 720 120 FPS USB camera. It's $120 right now, so it's $30 off. The OBS Bot Tiny. I remember this little thing. It's like I think it's got like the tracker, so we can like see where you are. It's a 4K USB camera for $143, so that's pretty good. Or Mike, you could just for $12 at Walmart, you can get a Logitech C310.
You can probably find. Dude, you can probably find. I mean, that's a good one, but you could probably find like a Logitech I think it's C270. Let me see if I can find one right now. Logitech C270. This is my first ever webcam. It's a 720p camera. Yeah, it's $18.
That's crazy.
So yeah, $18. But I mean, $12 for that one, and that's 1080p, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's the 720 as well. Yeah, dude, those cameras also work just fine. Honestly,
true. Listen, we talk about gaming mice. It's actually a good one. Gaming mice deals. 5 points. I really like these. Wired or wireless isn't as big of a deal as you think. I think there's a lot of pro players that probably even use wireless mouse at this point.
They do. Pretty good. They do now, yeah.
Don't fall for the esports hype. It's very true. Shape makes the difference. I attest to this because I have a Model D, which is a ergo shape. It's not an ambidextrous kind of shape. I prefer the ergo shape. I don't know. Most people probably don't. So again, I think it's one of those things you kind of just have to try and see what you like. But I like that ergo shape the most. So that's what I use. Cheap can absolutely be cheerful. And weight is important, but it depends how you game. What you're playing. Are you just playing RuneScape? You could probably get the giant brick that is the G502 before they made it light. Probably
just pretty big.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them here that are on sale for like $40 to $50, and honestly, any Logitech mouse I would recommend.
Oh yeah,
they're easily. So good.
Easily, yeah.
They're so
Logitech's a good brand. Glorious is kind of on. It's like I think they're not bad for the price. Most part, that's what I normally use. I've used Razer before. Razer's also really good. Yeah, dude. I mean, there's a lot of good brands out there. I didn't know Turtle Beach made a mouse. Did you know that Turtle Beach makes mice?
That doesn't surprise me. That it's new to me because they used to only make headsets. I thought.
Yeah. So mostly.
Doesn't surprise me really. It's just new.
Yeah. Yeah. G502 Lightspeed. See, there's like the lighter version of the G502. It's actually $70 off. Oh, there you go. Death Adder V3 Pro. I remember the Death Adder was like one of the first gaming mice I had. The original Death Adder. I think it's like sitting on my shelf over there or something like that. Pretty sure I still have it. I think it's clunky. Hey, dude, got the job done. The Logitech Pro X Super Light, really good, nice Pro kind of mouse. The Pro X Super Light 2, it's actually $40 off. And it's a 44K sensor.
I think that's what I have.
44K DPI is nuts.
I have the Pro Super Light. Pro X Super Light, not the 2. But it's really good. It's a really good mouse. Highly recommend.
25K sensor. It's crazy. That's nuts, man. Yeah, but I don't know. A lot of good deals. They're worth checking out. Gaming keyboards, which is actually interesting to me because I've been thinking about upgrading my keyboard. This keyboard's still doing well, but it's one of those things like there's better options out there for pretty cheap. So I don't know. Considering it.
Are you a num pad? The
No,
number
I'm
pad
10
as well?
keyless. 10 keyless all
Oh,
day.
oh, you kill me.
10
I
keyless all
need the
day,
number
dude.
pad.
Ah, dude. I don't use it. I don't do data entry, so you can miss me with it.
Oh, fair. Yeah, I do. So
Yeah.
that's why I have to use it.
Five things I always tell people when they're buying a gaming keyboard. Good mechanical keyboards are cheaper than you think. That's very true. You don't need Bluetooth, but 2.4 gigahertz wireless is great. Go for a Hall effect keyboard for competitive FPS gaming. I didn't even think about that. Some sort of Hall effect switches. Don't give up keys you use just to have a smaller keyboard. Very true. Don't underestimate typing sound and feel. See, this is the thing for me. Whenever I was getting into PC gaming, I tried, when I was looking at switch types for mechanical switches, I was like, I like the idea of browns at first. I was like, I saw a lot of people use brown switches, very tactile, quiet. So I saw that. I was like, oh, okay, I'll try browns. Something about the tactile feel just didn't feel good to me. Like I would use it and I just felt like I wasn't as good. I switched to a linear switch, like a red switch keyboard, and I was like, bro, this is so much smoother. There's no bump. It's very quiet. Like something like this is just like what I've been looking for. I like something silent, just something that I'm like moving throughout the key. Like when I'm moving across keys and doing different things, I don't feel like I'm having to put extra pressure down. It's just like, boom, I'm good.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. I like a linear switch. That's my personal thing. But it all comes down to preference, and it's one of those things you kind of just have to try. I think multiple different keyboards to see what you like. Just kind of the only way around it. Try your buddy's keyboards. Something.
It's pretty much what it comes down to, yeah.
But yeah. But I generally recommend kind of linear switches. A red switch is a linear switch. There's so many, dude. It is crazy. Like there's like keyboard heads now, and there's people like get really into mechanical keyboards, and it's insane.
And they build their
own.
own.
They build their own.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, there's a whole market for it that's just insane. It's turning into like like a shoe market almost of just like having a specific keyboard, specific keycaps, and whatnot. It's crazy. But dude, yeah, Logitech G Pro. They have a G Pro 10 keyless, something like that's probably pretty good. Corsair is a good brand. I use Corsair keyboards myself. And this is actually the K60 Pro TKL is pretty similar to what I have, except it's I just have a much older model. SteelSeries Apex Pro. I heard SteelSeries makes good keyboards. Glorious makes keyboards. Logitech. I mean, there's a lot of options. So it's really just coming down to what switch do you like. What do you prefer?
It really is.
Yeah.
It's all about like preference. I think. I mean, they even have the one down here that's a mechanical split ergonomic design at the very bottom. That's going for $20 off. I mean, I've seen people make their own versions of those, and they swear by them. So,
amen.
Yeah, it's just all down to what you're comfortable with.
For sure. Yeah, dude. It's really you really got to do research, find out what kind of switch type you like. We don't have too many more categories left, Mike. We're rounding out the end. So controllers, the main department of MadMike controllers. So
the main department. Yeah. Let's see which ones I have.
The 8-bit Do Ultimate 2-seat. This is a peach, dude. It looks like Princess Peach colors.
It's pretty sick color, yeah. I kind of like it,
the
even
color
though
wave.
It looks weird.
Yeah. The GameSir Nova Lite. It's a nice little wireless pad. Top budget pick for good reason. It's cool to see that. This is $5 off because it was 25 and now it's 20. So a lot of these are kind of the Scuff Instinct Pro is still going $40 off.
I literally just saw that one. I actually have. I meant to show you this earlier. I have a face print for the level 50
That's sick.
tournament. That goes for Scuffed Instinct Pro. I don't own the controller, so yeah, if I can get one of those for Christmas, shout out, please help.
Shout out.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
It's cool to see that, man. $40 off right now. That Xbox Core Wireless, just the core standard wireless controller is actually $20 off. It's only $40. The PlayStation DualSense, this is just the standard DualSense controller. It's actually $20 off right now, 21. Down from 75 to 54, something like that.
Jeez, PlayStation hardware is getting so expensive now.
That's crazy, man. It's like the best time to buy a controller because it does get pricey. Xbox Elite Series 2, there's actually a blue version that's $24 off right now at $115, $116. There's a lot of controller deals out there right now. Go take a look. Those are some of the highlights.
Yeah.
Gaming headsets. I'm gonna be updating my joints, I think, this week.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's going ditching the Astro 50s because the battery's starting to die on them, and it's like very quickly starting to. It's very cool. Like I've noticed, like a 5-6 hour session, like my battery's fully drained. Which before it was like I was able to go 15 hours until it did it, but now it's like the battery's getting bad on them. So 5 things I could always tell people when they buy their first gaming headset: wired, might mean ultimate audio, but wireless has come a long way. Very true. I use wireless. That's works for me great. Drivers make a difference. If it looks comfortable, it usually is. That's actually a good tip. It's comfortable. It's comfortable. It probably is. Built-in mics are nice to have, but not necessarily essential. For me, I never use built-in. I never use a built-in headset mic ever. So, and then battery life equals quality of life. There you go. And that's why I think I'm probably gonna switch to SteelSeries and have a nice little kind of swappable battery. Yeah, dude, there's so many deals out there, Mike. Just look at this.
Hey, SteelSeries actually has a deal down here.
Yep, sure do.
So normally when I went through finding out what kind of audio system I need to use, like right now I'm using earbuds, IEMs, and I like them because they're just like low profile, and I've been trying to use them a little bit more, especially during gaming. It's a freaking game changer. I've
Yeah.
also used like a different EQ setting with my mix amps that I have. Very, very fun stuff. For me, man, it was always like I love SteelSeries. I know Astros for a while was really good, but they've just kind of fallen off like big time for me.
Yeah.
Um, a buddy of mine has like crazy high end studio like Sennheiser
Yeah.
headsets. Yeah, he goes all out on those. So you can definitely go far with the name brand stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I know like Mass Drop or Drop, I guess they have a collaboration with Sennheiser for the HD 600s. Those are like really good drivers from what I've heard, and like
Oh
highly
yeah.
recommended for just anything outside of gaming. I'm sure they're great for gaming too, but yeah. But yeah, dude, they talk about the Arctis Nova Pro. I'm probably gonna get something similar to that. Their Pro headset. Get some wireless, something nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to that. CPUs, Mike, computer,
Ooh.
the processing unit, if you will. So 5 tips. I think these are really good tips. So I really want to make sure we read these. It says, do you want to keep your current motherboard? Very important. CPUs are compatible with certain motherboards. Got to be mindful of that. 8 cores are more than enough for gaming. Even 6 is fine. Which again, especially in more budget builds, 6 is more than enough. The best way to save money is to buy last or 2 gen old CPUs. What I alluded to earlier. It goes for a lot of things in tech. Buying the last gen is often pretty good. You don't actually need a big AIO liquid cooler, even with a high-end chip. It's also true. I know you look at multiple fans, giant radiators.
Yeah, you really don't need it.
It get crazy. So yeah, modern CPUs work best with super fast RAM, but it's not a must-have. Very true, dude. A lot of things, a lot of deals right now, Mike. An i5 12400F is only 100. Is only $110 right now. So it's a 6-core, 12-thread, 4.4 gigahertz boost. Come on, dude. CPUs get crazy now.
There's a lot of sale. I mean,
the
this
i5,
next one,
13600 KF, 14 cores, 20 threads, 5.1 gigahertz boost, only 175.
Yeah,
dude.
that's pretty good.
Deals,
before
man.
we go too far, this Ryzen 7 5700X is $190 off. That is a wild deal, and that's like a really good PC. CPUs, 8 cores, 16 threads, 4.6 gigahertz boost. So it's no joke either. And it's like compact size of power, 65 watts. Whereas the Intel i5 13600 that you mentioned, 125 watts. So you got to be paying attention to the power supply metrics as well. Very, very cool. Very, very cool.
A lot of deals. Talk about motherboards too. There's good deals on motherboards, like $50 off a lot of them. Some of them are pretty minor, like 10, 15, but motherboards.
There's one that's off for 160, but it's a high-end board. The MSI Meg Z790 Ace. That's no joke.
Yeah. 3 PCIe slots, 5 M.2 slots, 8 USB rear ports, 2 2.4 rear ports. Dude, it's crazy.
That is so much stuff. Wi-Fi 6E, which is a pretty big deal. Overclocking and cooling features. So, what else are we going on to?
It's a lot of RAM deals too.
I feel like everything's a RAM deal now. Like the prices have finally come down to like some normalcy.
Yeah, you don't even need a Black Friday deal to get a good deal. Some RAM. Yeah, dude, a lot of DDR5 talking. Most of the discounts are pretty minimal. It's like 25, 10. There's some that are like 50. It's a pretty good deal. Yeah, dude, just standard stuff. I mean, this is all good stuff. Like, yeah, the T-Force Delta. I know it's kind of like the Corsair Vengeance. Always go to. Get a little RGB action. Why not? But if you don't get RGB, you can get a similar RAM for much cheaper. So be mindful of that too. And then you want to talk about networking deals, Mike? You want to talk about routers, dude, as they call in the UK? Routers. Dude, nice routers.
Oh my god.
Netgear Nighthawks. You remember those, dude? The Nighthawk
routers. I have one. I have two technically.
Okay, so okay.
Only one in use.
Man, strapped up over here. I like it.
We had her.
Wi-Fi 7 on the new Nighthawks. Crazy. Wow, dude. Yeah,
it looks so basic.
I know, it just looks like a PC tower. It looks like the Apple trash can tower.
Hey, quick notice, the Amazon Euro Max 7 that came out is $1,000 off. And you might be asking, oh wow, $1,000 must be like $500. No, it is still $1,300. So
it's a mesh system. All right, let me just read this. No, you haven't misread that price. It really is $1,300 worth of wireless routers. But hear me out. If you have a very large house and you're using a single router, you'll almost certainly have single dead spots everywhere. Mesh systems solve this problem by providing a continuous single network that can seamlessly move about. Amazon's Euro Max 7 is very easy to set up and use, and we found that when we reviewed it. With 4 units in this package, you can set up a wireless network on a small farm. I'd be curious to see how that actually works, because I feel like that stuff in the past was pretty, like, extenders and stuff just sucked, but sounds like this is something better than an extender. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's got me really curious. I'll have to look into that. I mean, obviously I don't have a mansion, so no reason for me to have a mesh system, but
we'll get there one day.
Yeah, working on it. We gotta talk about VR headset deals. We can't leave Black Friday without talking about VR headset deals. PSVR 2 is actually crazy. It's $250 off, Mike, for PSVR 2 right now. It's only $350. You get the PSVR 2 and the Horizon Call the Mountain bundle. So yeah, PSVR 2s are pretty cheap already. The new deals, the HTC Vive Pro 2, the full system, 120 hertz. Actually, base station tracking is only $800, so it's $400 off. Which is pretty crazy on Amazon. The HTC Vive Focus Vision is $150 off, still $1,000 even. It's $100 off, so some nice little VR headset deals there. Trying to get into VR. I'm sure a lot of the cheaper ones probably also are on sale. But yeah. Mike, that's kind of a round out of all the deals right there, dude. A lot of crazy deals. A lot of not so crazy deals. And that's not even half of it, I'm sure. So encourage everyone, download your browser plugins, go to your websites, check the price histories. It is important. Try and save some money.
What's got you interested, man? Like, personally, what do you think has your interest the most?
Yeah, dude. I mean, for me, it's the headsets, of course, keyboards, peripherals, really. I will be looking into the power supplies, too. I saw Amazon had some deals on, like, power supplies. I'm trying to replace mine. And some AIO coolers, too. Might look around, see if there's anything worth putting in a list or something. I may not pull the trigger on a cooler yet, but I'm just curious. I'm definitely gonna be curious to see kind of what's out there and all that. But yeah, I don't know. And even just looking at games, we didn't even talk about just games in general. There's a lot of games deals right now, especially on Nintendo and kind of all the different storefronts, Steam. So it's always worth looking at.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think Steam is probably the way to go when it comes to deals. Outside of that, if you're not on one of the subscription-based models to play games for free for like $10 a month, I mean, I don't know what you're doing, because that should just be the way to go forward. I was talking to somebody about it. They were shocked that I bought like the battle pass for Call of Duty. They're just like, man, you spent so much money. I was like, dude, I pay for Game Pass. I didn't buy this game. Like, this is on Game Pass now. He goes, oh really? I was like, yeah. So I don't like. I played the game for like 2 full days first to decide that I liked it, and then afterwards I was like, okay, this is good enough for me to like buy the battle pass. I'm totally okay with doing that.
Yep.
And we'll play. I know for a fact I'm going to get my money's worth. I'm already like freaking 5 levels into the battle pass after like 3 days of grinding. So we're going to keep on going, baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
This guy's a grinder. Let's go, dude.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. What'd you think, Mike? Anything stood out to you?
The big one that stood out for me was the graphics cards, I think.
Okay.
I think the graphics cards for sure were the big one for me because I've been having difficulties with mine. I'm assuming it's a graphics card issue. I want to upgrade that. I'm not like I don't like how on some of the games that I play regularly, I'm having to do full screen exclusive. So when I tab out, it like messes me up. And what's even worse than that is I'm playing my game, I downscale it to 1080p. So I'm not playing in 2K. And that's an issue because if I'm in 2K, I don't get 144 frames. I'm getting like 60 to 90, and I play competitive shooters, so that's an issue for me. But when I go to 1080p, it's like, oh yeah, you're fine. Like, yeah, no worries, 200 frames,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on. I just know I'm tired of it. So it might be time to upgrade the
Okay.
GPU.
Okay. Like
So
it.
to see the deals, I'm over here. Like I even got it open the tab. I'm like, dude, I mean, bro, I could be over here with a brand new 4060 for like, dude, how much was this? $280?
Yeah. Just make sure you don't have CPU bottleneck, dude. That's all I would say.
That is, I'm not purchasing nothing until I go to PC part
Yeah.
picker and I decide
Yep.
if it's even possible, if it will physically fit
Yeah.
in my
Yep.
console. Yeah, that's the big one
Smart
for me.
man.
And honestly, I might not even do the 4080 series. I might just do like a 3080, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like it's
Because
probably for your needs would make more sense, but
I think it is because it's like I'm not trying to go over the top. I'm not trying to do anything super special. It's just, bro, just help me out. I just want to not have to turn off my RTX voice, you
yeah.
know?
Yep. Those monitor deals though, I will say that's another highlight for me.
Dude, they
Some good
were
monitor
yeah.
deals. So
That's a fair assessment right there, dude. For
yeah.
sure.
So, we'll see, dude.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it's
It's
overspend
cool.
year. Maybe it's a year I overspend. Maybe I'm due,
Charge it
dude.
to the credit card. Close your eyes. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh jeez. Yep. Alright.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, well I think it's
All right, dog.
we're just so over, dude. Like, gotta end it, Mike.
We are very much over our allotted time. Um, this happens every single holiday. Have you noticed? It
Yeah,
happens
every Black
every
Friday,
time. Every Black Friday, we go over the limit of what we expect to do. But I feel like people got 45 minutes worth of content in terms of just like weekly news, and then diving into the Black Friday deals is always a benefit. I remember there were a couple of people that watched last year's episode, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it helped them out with a couple of purchases." So hopefully, we can help some people out this time around.
Oh yeah, Dad.
Yes, sir, dude. Um, Anyhow, do you have anything else to add before we let the people go on with their weekend, their holidays?
Nah, dude. Go eat a lot of food. Go buy some stuff. That's all I got.
Go get fat.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
all you need to do.
Calories don't count on Thanksgiving. Remember
That's all in Ja Rule.
that. Hey.
Oh man. All right. Let's let the people go. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was a long one. If you made it this far, we really appreciate you. Show us some love in the comments, and we'll make sure to like and pin and all that kind of stuff to say that you were here. Without further ado, if you want to check out anything, links are in the description below. We have timestamps as well. Come back whenever you want to check us out. And anyways, I'm your host, Michael NC. My co-host right here is Kyle Heath. He's wearing Cloud9 today. I should have worn mine. I was wearing a Cloud9 hoodie all weekend. I got a call back. I went to the bar the other night and they talked to me about Cloud9 and they're just like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, what games do you play? I'm just like, dude, about 10 years ago, if I was wearing this, people called me a nerd and a loser. So it's cool to see. It's like we're out to the bars and people recognize it. It's
Yes.
kind of
Let's
sick.
go, dude. That's awesome.
Gotten shout outs for Team Liquid as well.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Anyhow, just wanted to do a little side note, reminded me when I looked at the logo. But yeah, anyways, I'm your host. We'll talk to you next week. Have a lovely weekend. Have a lovely holiday. We'll hopefully tell us what you buy if you buy anything. Cyber Monday's on Monday, although that doesn't really matter anymore. Deals are year round now.
Yep.
But we'll see you later. Take it easy.
Everyone eats food.
Peace out.
Eats food.